I had a dream one night about opening up a sports medicine clinic and treat the athletes in town that didn't have the services of a trainer and so forth.
When it came to leadership, to involvement, to volunteerism, Lew Crowl was an excellent role model and a mentor. He said, Fran Babbage, another Hall of Famer. And I think those are two great words right there. Sometimes we meet people in our lives that they could be one or they could be the other. Definitely Lew was both. He was definitely a role model just in his personality and in his professionalism. Most definitely a mentor.
Everybody loved Lew Crowl. He was always a real gentleman, and he did so much for our profession. And Lew was always very kind. People wanted to take pictures with him and stuff like that. He just was a great guy. And God threw away the mold when he made Lew Crowl.
Hi, my name is Andy Paulin. I'm a longtime athletic trainer, mostly here in Southern California.
I'm Bill Chambers. I was I'm a charter member of the Far West Athletic Trainers Association. And I've been a member of NATA for 62 years.
I think he saw the big picture, and at the same time he also saw, I guess maybe a current word now would be underserved. Way back, he started working at Sacramento State. That was one of his first jobs. And then that's where he developed that Lew Crowl Sports Injury Clinic. And one of the many reasons he did that was there were so many in his Sacramento community that were underserved, as in like the high schools. And so I think that's where he parlayed that into the clinic, in that, I need to do more than just the school athletes. I need to do more than just physical therapy patients. Look at all these people in my Sacramento area that don't get this kind of care.
He used to come down to play Cal State Fullerton in basketball, and he and I would always get together and go to dinner someplace, just the two of us. And he mentioned it then. Many times he talked about having this vision of having a sports medicine clinic. He had a dream, and the next day he went to see talked about his team physician. His team physician said, I'll back you on it, let's do it. And so Lew was the one that put it together, and I was the first one ever in the United States.
And equally important, which probably had a direct impact on the profession, is he was hiring athletic trainers. And I know that it almost seems like a moot point now, but this is the 70s. And in the 70s, that was completely unheard of. And he said, oh yes, he says, yeah, we have physical therapists in the clinic, but you know what? We're also going to have athletic trainers. And we're going to develop this program, whether if they're not looking at them in the clinic, they're going to look at them at their schools, and we'll just broaden it from there. And it was such a great example that even young students could take that with them and say, hey, there's another resource out there, there's another tool out there.
And I can remember that there were some of the hierarchy of the National Athletic Trainers Association was very critical of what he was doing. Starting a sports medicine clinic, and that was really taboo. But the thing of it is, he created 15 or 20 athletic training jobs in the Sacramento area. I mean, without him, there probably wouldn't be such a thing anymore.
By leading by example, I think that's what made that whole, what we would call the clinical environment, prosper so much, is other athletic trainers and physical therapists saw what he was doing and said, yeah, that's great, we shouldn't just limit our population to what walks through the doors of the clinic, but everybody gets care. And that's just literally a legacy that can be passed on for generations.
I had tenure at the college, and my wife said, why would you leave a lifetime job to go into something that's never been done before? And I said, well, if it doesn't work, then I can still be a trainer. Well, it worked. It took off almost immediately.
He had nurtured this great relationship with Bill Chambers to the point where not only did they share the same volunteer environments, all of our association business, they eventually became neighbors. They lived out here in Palm Desert, and they became neighbors. And he was the first guy in line for the golf tournament that generated the money for the scholarships. He usually was in the foursome with Bill Chambers. And when all of us would get out on the course, those tee boxes had a sponsorship. And we looked at this one tee box sign and we said, donated by laid back golfers of Palm Desert. We're like, who the heck are these guys? And there's Bill and Lew.
And people used to laugh about it. I said, well, it's real. It's an LBGA. That's what the heck it is. And so we were known for laughing, having a good time, and having our own set of rules. And we had the biggest job that we had as a laid-back golfers was trying to decide what color shirt we were going to wear, because we had red, white, and blue shirts with our name. And just the fact that we were friends, and memories. I think back, since we've lost him, I think back to things that we did together. We would sit and have the students come to us and ask us questions. And God, that was so much fun. And one of the things that he used to always emphasize when we would go out and speak together was that don't forget how to use your hands. And you can have all the fancy equipment you want, but until you can use your hands, you're not going to be a very good athletic trainer. He just was a dear, dear friend, and I think as done a day goes by that I don't think of something that he and I said to each other, did to one another, or whatever like that.
One of our colleagues named Gary Lang from the Bay Area, or the upper Northern California area, he worked for Lew when Lew started that clinic. He was one of the athletic trainers getting out there with those same high schools. He said Lew gave his employees the opportunity to grow and realize their dreams in athletic training. That just kind of titles what we've been discussing about today, that he kind of showed you the environment and then kind of turned you loose, but yeah, you could still come back here and talk to me about what's going on. Brian Berry, longtime member, longtime participant with the CATA, said, Lew, you'll continue to inspire everyone you've impacted. I thank you for everything that you've done. We are all, as professionals, in your debt. Couldn't have said it better.
You can't be in it just for the money. You gotta treat people right, which we did. I was stupid at the start, but you learn what works and what doesn't work, and it worked.